Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. The lifespan of a news story is rather finite, especially considering the pop culture and how long interest in a particular story, be it about a TV show, video game, or movie, it runs its course eventually, and people stop being interested and stop talking about it. Or, in this case, well, they just decided to shut down the game, stop supporting it. And none other than Warner Brothers finally kills off Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League after taking out over $200 million in impairment charges. Oh my goodness, we remember all that. The story from the head of Warner Brothers talking about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, that stellar, well, it's an abomination of a video game. Over $200 million, it was part of $200 million in lost revenue. Over at Fandom Pulse, John F. Trent's writing over here in a blog post providing details about the game's fourth season. Rocksteady announced, quote, with Deathstroke joining the roster, the Suicide Squad's crusade against Brainiac is drawing to an end. Oh, you only wish that this game would have gone further than that, don't you? Season 4 will finish up with Episode 8, which is scheduled to release in January 2025, and that will serve as the last seasonal episode for Sushi Squad Kill Warner Brothers. While Season 4 Episode 8 will mark the final battle against Brainiac, all online features will continue to be available. So you'll still be able to enjoy co-op with friends, as well as all previous seasonal episodic content. Well, that's a bonus, unlike other studios out there. When they shut down their games completely, they're shut down completely. Games with online components, but mainly single-player aspects, you can't play the game because, well, the servers are shut down. It's an online-only game, even though it has a single-player campaign. Make it make sense. You'll also have the option to play the game via the new offline mode, something you probably should have put in there to begin with. Maybe people wouldn't have been so, crashing all the time. Anyway, which allows access to the main story campaign and all post-launch seasonal gameplay content without an internet connection. They are finally 1 year, I believe. 1 year? Was it 1 year? I think it was less. Oh, wait, it had to be less time than that. They wanted this game to go into the future, and it's shutting down in January. Well, game's cancellation is no surprise, especially no surprise to anyone who was paying attention. The game only achieved an all-time peak concurrent player count of just 13,459. Now, obviously, this is not taking into account, and unfortunately, it cannot take into account the number of people playing on console. And that is unfortunate. But given the numbers here, I don't think the numbers were all that bigger, all that, I don't think it was all that much more popular on consoles. Otherwise, they wouldn't be shutting it down. On top of the player count being abysmally low, and that's being generous, this Warner Brothers Discovery also admitted it took out a $200 million impairment charge on the game. Wow, if you remember, I covered this before. Everybody covered this before because it was just fun to point and laugh at. Here's the quote from Gunnar Weidenfels revealed during the company's first quarter earnings results webcast. Quote, starting with studios, the $400 million year-over-year decline during quarter one was primarily due to the very tough competition, maybe? We faced in games against the success of, comparison. We faced in games against the success of Hogwarts Legacy. That was a bit of an anomaly, but maybe you should have focused on single-player enjoyable content instead of, disrespecting the Justice League in the way you handle. But anyway, last year in the first quarter, in conjunction with a disappointing Suicide Squad release this past quarter, which we impaired, leading to a $200 million impact. That's gotta hurt. Even with the massive success that Hogwarts Legacy was, that $200 million impact from Suicide Squad and all the other failures that they had last year, or this past year, that's gotta be a tough pill to swallow. More recently, Weidenfels revealed that the company's entire game division had over $300 million in write-downs, so I guess losses. Results were impacted by games for which we took another $100 million plus impairment due to the underperforming releases. Maybe make a game that's fun and you'd be surprised at how much money you can make. Don't show this off. Which reminds me, let's go back up to the top real quick. What the hell is this? What the hell is even that? What are these characters supposed to be based on? I can only assume some what mythology is this? Y'all let me know in the comments section, please. I mean, this reminds me of an Eldar Harlequin, which would be appropriate considering that's Harley. I just, y'all tell me what the hell this is. I don't know. Oh, look, Deathstroke. Too little, too late. Because, you know, you decided to introduce Ma'am Freeze. Like, you're going to release this and expect the game to be popular, to be successful when you're not catering to your target audience. And whether you like it or not, attractive avatars sell games. Game also suffered from being worked on by consultant, DEI consultant, Sweet Baby Stench. Now, how on earth? I thought Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't have anything to do with these games. They just come in and put a little extra here, a little extra there. I mean, it's not like they're taking their marketing department out for coffee and terrifying them on what may or may not happen if they don't agree to their demands. I don't think Sweet Baby Inc. does that, do they? Who would say such a thing? Given Sweet Baby Inc. worked on the game was added to the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected Steam curator list, but I don't think that has anything to do. Oh, the curator list is out. As of this writing, 460,000 followers. That's nothing to shit. That's something to shake a stick at, or nothing to shake a stick at. Nothing to sniff at? Mixing up sayings here, but let's continue. That's not a number to laugh at. That is a number that developers need to be paying attention to. It means something. Even if a good bit of them, let's say half of them, let's go with half. Okay, let's be generous. Half of those numbers are troll accounts, fake accounts, bot accounts, whatever. They're not real people. They're not really paying customers. We'll go with 50%, even though way more of them are. Okay? Wouldn't surprise me if some of them are nonsense or just people trying to keep an eye on it, but whatever. Let's say 230,000 of those followers are guaranteed to never put their money down on a game when a consultancy company like Sweet Baby Inc. is involved. What does that say? What does that tell the developer? That's lost revenue. When you have a $50 game, $230,000, $50, which we all know games are going to be pricing $70, $80, and $100, but we're going to be generous. You know what? Let's go to 60. All right. I was going to go with 50 because it's a nice, easy round number. Well, let's go with 60. 60 times 230,000. What are we looking at? No, 10 million? $10 million in sales easily? My math isn't working right now, but I'm not going to do that while I'm recording the video. But you understand. You understand the point that I'm making. Even if half of these people are guaranteed not to purchase anything dealing with Sweet Baby Inc. or consultancy groups like that, that is a massive loss in revenue. And of the rest of that 230,000, let's say half of them, and then half of them, going all the way down, are questioning. People shut their wallets when they found out, well, they shut their wallets tighter when they found out that Sweet Baby Stench was involved. But when they saw the gameplay, I think that had more of a negative effect than anything. The consultancy group was the final nail in the coffin, essentially, which is one of the reasons, I'm sure, why these numbers are so absolutely abysmal. On top of that, as noted by YouTuber Vera Dart, the game was an insult to players. Quote, it just throws half the character development from the Arkhamverse games away, tosses them out the window, disrespect them. Of course, we're killing off fan favorite characters. It's not that you did it, it's how you did it. It's another argument about Last of Us 2. It's not that you killed Joel, it's how you killed Joel. Handling it, there's better ways to handle these games, these scenarios, all these situations. There's so much better ways to handle them by still being respectful to the characters you're doing it to. What do we got? And I get it right, it's called Kill the Justice League. I'm fine with them killing off characters as long as they do it in a way that makes sense to the story and is also in a respectful way. The way Batman was taken out was ridiculous. And from what I saw from all the boss fights, they were cookie cutter, repetitive, and nonsensical. Why would I be interested in playing a game like that? Although, unfortunately, I did spend $5 on the $100 pack, but it was only $5. If you know, you know. It just felt so hateful, but not because of the characters, because the writers and their conscious decision to basically give Arkhamverse fans the middle finger and completely disappoint us. It's a game that could have been so much better and treated with a lot more, well, the characters being treated with a lot more dignity. What do you make of Warner Brothers Discovery and Rocksteady finally shutting down? What do we make of it? It is coming as not a surprise in the least to anyone that has been paying attention to the lifespan, the journey that Sushi SWAT Kills the Justice League has been on. Surprise to no one. Now, I'm sure there are people out there that have enjoyed the game, but when you're talking about an always online, or supposed to be always online until the servers crash, multiplayer co-op game that can't seem to get the numbers needed to keep a game like this going. And it's obvious it didn't have enough players to keep it going, and you put out abysmal skins and, well, whatever this Joker is, and it is a recipe for failure, proven yet again by Warner Brothers shutting down support. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. That's all I've got for now. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all the different little things that you do, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.